Head on over to BBTS today to pick up your Godzilla stuff. Check them out at the link in the description.
Dragon Ball, horror, kaiju, and more. Steven's Toy Reviews.
Hello there, collectors. It's Steven here, turning over his box for the Mezco Destroy All Monsters Round 2 set in their 5 Points XL line. That's right. So the 5 Points XL line is going to be an extra large version of their 5 Points line. No, so the 5 Points line are basically going to be small figures that are at about 3 3/4 scale or so, about that size, where they have 5 points of articulation. So for action figure collectors, you pretty much know what that means. The XL, bigger and badder, because now they're doing Godzilla stuff. And in the Destroy All Monsters Round 2 set, we get Gorosaurus, King Ghidorah, Minilla, that's what I'm going to be calling him because that's how I know him as growing up, and we're going to get Baragon. And oh boy, I got quality. So with Mezco's, realistically speaking, first attempt, round 2. So did Valve make this? Anyway, with Mezco's first attempt with round 2 coming out first, is this going to be a dud in the water, or are they going to be able to get back in the ring and deliver with round 1? Let's take a look to see whether or not it's going to be worth adding into your collection. You already saw my Instagram. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm picking this set up and putting it back down. It's already boxed up. I'm just referencing the prototypes on the back of the box. Yeah. So you already saw my my YouTube short, Instagram story, wherever I put it for Minilla. So we're gonna hold him off for last. Where do we start? Let's go ahead and start with Baragon. I think Baragon was rather nice looking overall, and I do have to say that I really didn't have too many issues with this guy. And as a matter of fact, I think he's going to be probably tied for the best looking alongside King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah had a couple of minor issues here and there, and we're going to take a close look at him. I think there's a paint matching issue. But anyway, for Baragon, I think there's something really cool about this guy. I think that he actually looks a little bit muddy, a little bit dusty, with the only minor things are going to be some paint drips and blobs here and there, which realistically speaking should not be that much of an issue depending on your level of need for perfectly applied paint with no issues whatsoever. Quality control, yeah, it's not going to be perfect, but I do think Baragon does drive it home to look very nice. Now, Baragon is going to have some accessories, but we'll take a look at that in just a little bit. All right, now we took a look at Baragon. Let's hop on over to Gorosaurus. Now, Gorosaurus here, I don't necessarily think Gorosaurus is going to be the bee's knees. I think the prototype actually does look pretty good, and as a matter of fact, I think the prototype actually looks very much so like a scaled down X+. In the final product, though, it seems like he has a little bit of an underbite. Is that the right word for it? Underbite? His teeth look a little gangly, and to be honest, I don't think the proportions really just came out looking quite right. I personally don't like Gorosaurus. That's my subjective opinion here. For objectivity, I do think that overall the sculpt is rather clean. The details are just fine enough. It's just going to fall into that proportion side where I don't necessarily think everyone is definitely going to be on board for this being one of the best figures of the set. The paint application, some may find it a bit odd. However, if you take a look at some of the other Gorosaurus product that is going to be on the market, whether it's going to be the recently released movie Monster Series, some of the X Plus releases, even the Playmates, I think that the paint application here is a nice blend of everything to try to make everyone happy, and I think what they delivered is a rather fine result. The blues on the back actually look rather rock solid, though I will say that the nails are a bit jarring in places where it doesn't seem like the paint is actually blended in relatively well in any one given spot. I think Gorosaurus is unfortunately a bit of a mixed bag here. You're either going to love him or you're going to hate him. King Ghidorah time. Yep, he's going to be tied for my favorite of the set, but unfortunately, he's not without his issues as well. It does seem like I'm being overly negative, but keep in mind here, folks, that these reviews are kind of meant to be for everyone, and I'm trying to be as objective as possible here. I'm not just trying to create a hug box for everyone, so this way we can all just say consume product mindlessly and just make sure that everything gets a stamp of approval, because without criticism, we can't improve. Okay? Okay. Now, King Ghidorah, I mean, he is definitely going to be large, he's going to be in charge, and he is definitely going to tower over the rest of the kaiju in the set, but we'll take a look at that a bit more closely when we take a look at the size comparison. In terms of the sculpt, I mean, I think the scaling on this guy looks fantastic, and I'm talking about the actual scales that are going to be on the body and on the neck as well. I mean, the sculpt, I mean, this really does capture the idea of Monster Zero back in the Showa era. I mean, there are no issues there whatsoever. The only thing that is going to be a problem, and this is kind of where it comes down to paint, I do find it to be a bit lacking, and you're probably thinking, Steven, what's the issue here? The whole set is $80. Oh, $80. And we're going to come out to about 20 a piece. What's the problem? King Ghidorah is rather straightforward and easy to do. He's gold, which admittedly no company can really nail gold, but here they could have just done one gold closer to a brown coloration and they could have been set with only some minor other paint applications for his manes, teeth, and mouth, which that's mostly what they did here, but unfortunately it does seem like there was an attempt at a dry brushing on the manes that looks a little gray and it looks a little too heavy-handed. Teeth slop as well. Some may say that's nitpicking, but then again, while you may watching this who's saying that's nitpicking, somebody else may already close out this video after that saying, yeah, this set is junk. So, hey, it is what it is. Personally, I like Ghidorah. I think that some of the issues that he has when it comes to paint are rather forgivable. And his size and effects are pretty cool. What's not forgivable? Minilla. This is kind of where I've mostly been real negative with the set because we had a huge delay with this set, and Mezco has just been the king of delays recently. For those of you who've been kind of keeping track, with anything that is licensed, if it's anything to do with the Rumble Society, which I don't know, maybe they should do Godzilla Rumble Society stuff. Maybe it would do better. Anyway, they've just been delaying. And my Minilla's one eye, I mean, literally, I mean, come on. You can't say that this is accurate. You can actually see that it's printed up on his eyelid. Come on. Don't, if you're saying it's accurate, you're joking. Why? Let's go ahead and switch on over to accessories here real quick because you can see that his alternate head that he comes with his puff of smoke ring effects and his interchangeable arms, which are a little bit different. We'll see them side by side here. His alternate head, it's fine. It's totally fine, and the eyes are printed exactly as they should be. Yep, they're just 100% fine, and if I were able to just go ahead and grab pictures and throw them in my reviews without fear of anyone doing a takedown or anything, somebody had one where the right eye was printed on the upper eyelid and the left eye was printed on the lower one. Come on. We don't need to be doing this, Mezco. We don't. It's an $80 set. Anyway, for the accessories for Minilla here, they're actually pretty good, and I do like them. I think this is rather well executed. Now, one thing of note is you may see a little bit of scraping on the smoke ring, but honestly, I think that actually seals the deal a little bit here. It makes it a little bit more believable. For the accessories for Minilla, I think they did a rather solid job, though ultimately, I think they maybe could have just gotten away somehow with just one head to utilize the smoke ring effects as well. But I don't know. Hey, they did a just fine job here. Now, let's go ahead and jump on over back to King Ghidorah real quick. We'll work our way sort of backwards. King Ghidorah is going to come with 3 gravity beams, and they're all pretty much just going to be the same. They're going to be yellow pieces of translucent plastic. Now, pay very close attention, folks, because I don't think even if you have a PhD, you're going to be able to figure out how to use these. Hold the head still, and then you plug it in the mouth. Yup. That's it. You get 3 of them. And honestly, they actually work pretty well. They're rather sturdy, so make sure that you don't break them. You don't force them. You don't want to snap them, because if you break one of these, good luck getting a replacement. So that's all King Ghidorah is going to come with. Now, for Baragon, he's going to come with an alternate head part, and he's going to come with alternate leg parts. So this way you can get crawling Baragon, and that is actually rather cool. Wish they could have maybe incorporated this as an entirely separate figure in a different release at some point, because they could definitely do a round 3, because round 1 doesn't have the entire rest of the cast, but say la vie. Yeah, crawling Baragon's pretty good. Mine got hit with a minor quality control issue, as you can see here by the pics, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. I'll go ahead and take it. It's not that big. Gorosaurus comes with nothing. Well, I shouldn't say nothing, because you've seen the pictures that I've had with all of the accessories that they come with, like I do for all my other reviews, and they actually snuck in a black support base. I don't know if they needed this. I'm scratching my beard as a sound effect for me thinking. Okay. It is what it is. I mean, we can't get like a kangaroo kick for Gorosaurus effect somehow. I mean, you guys are working on that rubber suit. Enough Batman jokes. Anyway, so for the accessories for this set, I think overall it's rather nice. Nothing's really missing here too much, except for maybe some sort of effect part for Gorosaurus or alternate limbs for him. I think that would have been pretty cool. Baragons are, I mean, really cool. Maybe a digging thing for, oh yeah, that was a Gorosaurus that popped up, right? Yeah, digging for him. Anyway, so for effect parts, yeah, I think considering the size and, you know, what they're doing here, I think it all checks out. Oh, we didn't talk about articulation. So it's within the name, 5 points XL. So they're all going to be swivels. Nothing really impressive. Basically, what it's just meant to do is doing slight minor alterations here and there. So this way you can get slightly different expressions. Nothing over the top. Don't expect SH Monster Arts. Think about smaller vinyl figures here. That's about what you should expect. Nothing super complicated. Very straightforward. Some parts may pop off, but again, that's going to be the nature of the swivel. So, and the interchangeable parts as well. Just something to keep in mind. So just keep that in mind when you're moving these guys around. Something of note though, tails don't really move. Yeah. Oh, speaking of size comparison. So here's how they're going to look. Now, one thing that a lot of folks were pretty much wondering is if these would be glorified Gashapon figures, and not really. No, they are going to outsize the previously purchased Gashapon figures you just might have, and they don't really fit in with vinyl figures either. They may be able to sneak in with some of the Revoltech figures that you have, but even then, as I showed you with Baragon here, not quite the same size. They're actually going to be smaller. So if you're going to get these, you're only going to be able to get them for them. That's going to be it. You can't really mix and match these into displays with anything else. So, buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. The only thing that I didn't cover here is you have to put King Ghidorah together, but once you open him up out of the box, he's kind of like a puzzle, a real easy to do puzzle, so that's not really factored in. All right, so my box kind of got a little squished, thank you Mezco, and we have a quality control issue, which honestly, considering the delays, there should not have been that issue with Minilla whatsoever, end of discussion. $80, did I get my money's worth? Yes and no. I think that this is it's an all right start to Mezco's Godzilla offerings. Overall, the review is lukewarm. I'm not jumping for joy thinking that this is going to be the best thing ever, but I'm not saying that this is terrible and you don't need to buy this. I think that if the idea appeals to you and you are going to get the Destroy All Monster sets, then dial back your expectations. I guess consider everything is going up in price, which is the reason why it is more expensive now, compared to maybe getting a few other Gashapon figures from maybe $45, $50, and go from there. Again, it's not bad. It is definitely something different. Quality control could be a bit better, but I'm really interested to see what the rest of the offerings are going to be. They do currently have a Mothra set that is an exclusive that still some sites do have orders for, like BBTS, and there is a Ghidorah set that was just announced and is still up for pre-order. So if you're thinking about it, it might be good, it might not. We'll see with round 1, whenever that comes out.
Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now you've heard a lot from me, I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.